This is my grandfather, C.L. Reavis, Wilmington, North Carolina. Granddaddy?
Well, you already see me talking up there now.
Yeah, you're talking right now. Just tell us who you are and what got you started and everything like that.
Okay. Well, when I was about 13 years old, my daddy was a good fiddle player. We lived in a little town up near Charlotte called Mooresville. I've never heard of it, but it is North Carolina anyway. And every Saturday night they'd come in, and the big house we lived in, the only house that had a fireplace in the front, so they'd go in there and a bunch of people would come over there and they'd get together and have jam sessions. So later on, after the war, I went to Washington, D.C., lived in Washington, D.C., and the war broke out. Went in the Marine Corps, stayed in the Marine Corps 2 years in the Bahamas. Thought I was getting ready to come home and ended up in Honolulu, Hawaii for another 2 years, so it was 4 years in the Marine Corps. When I was in the Bahamas, I had my fiddle, but when I went to the West Coast and into Honolulu, Hawaii, I didn't have a fiddle, so I never messed with a fiddle a long time. Came back to Carolina Beach. My wife lived in Alexandria, Virginia, about 12 miles from Washington, D.C. And we were married in Wilmington, North Carolina, when the war was going on. I was on leave into Carolina Beach. And we still didn't mess around with a fiddle for a long time because I had to make a living. So I went to school, learned to be a bricklayer, started building houses. I got my North Carolina state license as a builder. And my wife and I went to Chapel Hill, went to college, and both became realtors. So one time I probably had the biggest office in Wilmington, North Carolina, because we were not only building houses, but we were selling houses. Then things got kind of a little different, and all that kind of faded away. My wife got sick, had breast cancer, died. Then I had to have something to do. So I thought I could make fiddles. So I started making fiddles. I've got records of about 60 fiddles that I've sold people that are now playing them. And I've got an old fiddle that my father gave me, which is a Viome. It's an old French fiddle and pretty valuable. And I was going up to Charlotte, North Carolina, and met a guy up there called, get his name out in a minute. He was a violin maker, and I went to his office one day and got interested in it. And then I found out where I could buy the supplies and all that, so I could buy the rough supplies, build all the jigs, and started making fiddles. Now the fiddle I'm playing right now is a fiddle that in my violin shop. I've got a violin shop, and we was out here one day, and somebody come in here and wanted to sell me this fiddle for $175. I put some strings on it, got it fixed up, and I liked it. And a lady that I knew came in here, and I let her play the fiddle. She said, "Boy, I like the sound of that." She said, "I'll give you $1,500 for it." And I said, "No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it." And I've been playing it ever since. We played. We ended up building a band here. Young boy here that lived in Wilmington that could play the banjo, and he worried his folks half to death, about to have a heart attack, because all he did was stay up all night playing on records and records. He didn't have CDs in those days. He was playing on records and tapes. That's all we had. We ended up, we formed a band called the Cape Fear Ramblers, and we got pretty good, and we played all over the country around here. And then some guy come over one time and said he was at a barbecue place in a little old town down here that's a pretty long ways from Wilmington. What is it town?
Grisset Town.
Grisset Town. It was near Grisset Town. And at a barbecue place. So we started playing. The Cape Fear Ramblers went down there every Friday night and Saturday night and played square dance music for the people. We played the first show and we played the last show when he closed it down. Some jackass is a word, from Tennessee come down here and was going to sue him because we were playing CD songs. And he told them right quick, he said, you people are crazy. You need to go on back to Nashville and speak to your lawyer and see if you can't figure out what's going on. They said, oh hell no, we're going to sue you for $1 million. He said, go right ahead. I got two places, one here and one near Hickory, North Carolina, and sue me. So it wasn't but 2 or 3 weeks later until those people come back and apologize. He says, you pay the band, and the band picks out and plays whatever the hell they want to play. And I don't know you nothing. Now get the hell out of here before I call the sheriff and have him take you out. So they left and never heard anything more from him anymore. Anyway, he decided to close the one he had here in that place and go back to the one he has in near Asheville, North Carolina. Not Asheville, but Hickory, near Hickory, North Carolina, yeah. And that's where, and we went up there and played a few times at that place, but it was too far for us to go. So we quit doing that, and then we decided to take the band we had and called it the Cape Fear Ramblers. And for a long time, I didn't know why we called it the Cape Fear Ramblers. And, but we do have a river here, the Cape Fear River. And somebody said something about the Cape Fear River and playing and all that, and I said, we'll ramble around. And there's where the Cape Fear Ramblers come from. And we played an awful lot of places all over the place around here, and enjoyed it. And I've been fiddling ever since. Now we're still going to keep on fiddling as long as my arm, I can pick it up and pull the bow, and as long as my ear will hear the notes I want, then it's all right. So there you are.
How old are you, Granddaddy?
Well, I'm, the first time I was playing the fiddle, I was about 13, 14 years old. I gave it up for a long time, and I started playing it again when I was, I don't know, probably, I don't even know how old I was then. I couldn't have been more than about, well, when I got out of the service, I was 22, about 22, 23. Started playing them when I was about 23 years old. And, but I'm not a violinist. I do read the music, but I don't read when I play. What you got to do, you got to play the song over and over until you get it up in your head, and then you watch the guitar player and see which chords he's going to, and then you can hit the notes and stay with them. And I played the guitar for a long time. I picked up one not too long ago, and I found out I forgot how to play one. So I'm going to have to relearn how to play the guitar again. Got a nice Martin guitar, and my grandson now, he played with the son. We played last week a little show, and we've got a good friend here that plays the banjo that goes to Galax, Virginia every year. We went to Galax, Virginia, and we got 17 ribbons in there. We don't have the 18th and 19th and 20th.